Have you told your friends that you see ghosts?
Oh, absolutely not.
Gina Rodriguez returns in Not Dead Yet.
I'm back, baby!
Who is up?
Oh, she's the obituary writer.
And Brad Garrett joins the brilliant ensemble cast.
Titan, Maverick, Titan of all Mavericks. These are all words used to describe me.
Not Dead Yet. Season premiere. Tonight, 8:30, 7:30 Central on ABC. And stream on Hulu.
On this very special episode of Horror Movie Night, we talk about Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Tale of the Phantom Cab. I'd like to submit for the approval of the podcast my own taxi story. I was in the UK and I got a cab, and the driver said if I flashed him my dick, he'd let me skip the fare. Well, I did, and then he pointed out all the cameras in the car. He said he wouldn't post it to the internet if I let him bum me, so I did. And he seemed like a man of his word, so hopefully that footage isn't out there, just for his own personal use. Anyway, let's talk about this episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, shall we?
Yes!
Wow, that was almost as demeaning as the shit that you made me listen to, or made me read out the other, when we did our party in June.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So I don't know about you guys, but like the second the theme song started playing, I just felt the most nostalgia chill I've ever felt before.
Yeah, the theme song.
I didn't listen to it, or I didn't watch enough of it to have a big nostalgia for it, but I watched enough that the visuals were just like, oh wow, this is taking me back.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a whole lot of this show, but just watching the show like harkened me back to all the other like Disney and Family Channel shows that I used to watch in the 90s.
So I think at the very least, so this is my quick synopsis on how I felt about watching this, is that this isn't good, but it's a hell of a lot better than the Goosebumps episode we had to watch last year.
I have that note too.
It's a lot more subtle, and I don't know. I mean, it is better, but I couldn't really quantify why it's better or tell you.
Maybe because it's shorter.
I think it's definitely the length of which we were exposed.
Dude, because Jesus, these kids, the kids who play the Midnight Society aren't too bad. But the two main kids in this fucking story are awful.
Well,
like,
I mean, and the older brother is so mean, like unnecessarily mean.
I don't know. The little brother, like, I have a bunch of random quotes written down, and they're just like, man, this is whacked. Like, he stutters over every delivery in their, like, their thick-ass Canadian accents throughout the whole fucking show.
You know what's great is I actually have the "man, this is whacked" note too, all in caps.
Fucking when he like almost did he say, is that the quote that he says right before he almost falls off like a cliff face?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought he said, oh, "Man, this is wet," and then like slipped on the slip.
Get your logic out of here.
He even has the shitty delivery later on where he's like, was that somebody's hand? like
Yeah.
Nothing he says seems natural at all.
This little suburban Canadian white kid actually said, "Man, this is whack. I will pay you guys money." There's no way that's what he fucking said.
I think it's 2 against 1, and I mean I know it's your native tongue, Canadian, not American, but pretty sure we're right.
Now I have to watch this fucking show again.
Well, at least it's in the first couple minutes. So the intro scene I thought was really weird because at first I was like, what the fuck is this stupid him staring at the camera telling us about the Midnight Society thing? And then when it was revealed that it's like a speech that he's giving a new kid, I was like, oh, that's actually a pretty creative way to introduce this whole group of people to the audience in the show's premiere. So, I mean, maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but I think for a kid's show, that's actually a little bit more well thought out than most.
Which,
Oh yeah, because this is supposed to be like the YA of horror. If Goosebumps is like the junior high or the elementary school type, horror, I feel like Are You Afraid of the Dark was more like junior high, freshman year in high school kind of level.
Yeah, because Goosebumps never had like a real legitimately scary episode, and I remember at least one of these this show that was scary as fuck. It was all about
there's
firemen who was like all burned up and like chasing these kids around school. That fucked with me when I was young.
Well, the next episode, I almost want to do another one of these because the next episode is probably the best episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark ever, which is The Tale of the Laughing in the Dark, which is where the kids go to the carnival and they steal the nose off the clown, and then the creepy clown mannequin is like stalking them at their houses. Zebo the clown.
Which member of the Midnight Society do you guys relate to the most? Because I think I'm like a Kiki, but I could be a Betty Ann. I don't know.
I'm definitely the geeky leader with the glasses.
Yeah, you are. I'm the Asian guy.
No.
Okay, so we picked on the little brother just a little bit, who I actually have a note that says, I can't get over how much Buzz sucks. Like, was he the only actor that auditioned for this role?
Well, so I think that it's half that he's a terrible actor and half that they just rushed through through it. They were. I don't know if he was the only actor that wanted the job, but I think that he was the first and only person that auditioned because they're like, "Fuck, we just gotta get this done and on screen and make our money on Nickelodeon." Because like the story that is being told is that they're out camping, but between the two of them, they have one school backpack. They don't have anything.
It seemed like they went out camping.
How are you gonna hike
It
and
seemed
camp
like
with
they
that?
went out camping, but with the intention of being home before dark.
Oh, the Scott Roger method of camping. I like that.
And then, like, the older brother, when he figures out why they're lost, he's like, "Your belt buckle, you fucking idiot!" Like, he's like such a douchebag about it.
I don't think that he said the F-bomb in this.
Oh,
but
no, he totally did. I watched the special version of it.
Standards ratings are a lot more lax than American. We say whatever.
Yeah. So is that actually how compasses work? That a belt buckle will throw him off? Because I don't think that's
For some
true.
reason he had a magnetic belt buckle, yes, but I don't. Why do you have a magnetic belt buckle?
What? Who has a magnetic belt buckle except for Inspector Gadget?
Someone who's a chick magnet, maybe.
Oh my God, Mac.
Somebody get Mike Herrera on the phone. We got a question for him. He's got a podcast. So this is like the prequel to Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, because this is way before that, for sure.
Not by enough to make it worthwhile, but definitely those kids were some of the ones that, the handprints on the inside of the house at the end of Blair Witch Project. That's these kids.
When the Dr. Vic guy showed up, I was like, holy shit, I actually remember this guy. Like, I don't remember this story, but I remember him, and I did a little bit of research, and apparently he's the only reoccurring character in the Tales from the Crypt stories. Like, they constantly bring that character back for some reason, which, I mean, he's...
Tales from the Crypt?
Or, sorry, on Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Okay. He's
one of the only people that has good delivery in the show. I'll give him that much, at least.
He looks like... so I'm not very well versed in Harry Potter, but the big... Is it Hagrid?
Yeah,
the big dude with the beard?
Yeah, he looks like Hagrid.
He looks like a miniature Hagrid.
Except Hagrid's house, I don't believe, had a hand in the jar.
I know we moved past this, but I figured out what type of kid has a magnetic belt, and it's the same kind of kid who, when he's 10, has Velcro shoes, and he has the mittens where the string runs along the back of his fucking coat.
That's true. All right, so honest question for you guys. Answer honestly. were you able to solve either riddle before the answers were given?
Yes, but only because as soon as they said the riddle, I remembered this episode, and the only reason I know the answer to that riddle is this episode. So as soon as he said the one about the barrel, I was like, yeah, I know what it is. So for, the next 10 minutes, I was just like twiddling my thumbs like, okay.
Which
No, I didn't know what it was because I don't remember this episode. I definitely didn't watch it before this.
Part
like
is
the kid...
when it cuts back to the Midnight Society, and they go, That's a trick riddle. It's one of those riddles that has no answer to it. And then another kid goes, but what if it can be solved? And then no, wait. And then it cuts back to, like, I don't know, Kiki or Betty Ann, one of them. And she goes, nah, that's a cheat. That riddle can't be solved. And it cuts back to another kid, and he says, but what if it can be solved? Twice.
I love that there's absolutely no sense of urgency in this episode where the kid solves it, and instead of just being like, it's a hole, he's like, I've got it. I know exactly what's a thing that's weightless and that you can see, and that if it's inside of a barrel, it makes it lighter. It's like, the guy said you have 10 seconds, and you just wasted it explaining the riddle again.
Well, I mean, they haven't said it 45 times up until this point. So many of the kids who were not paying attention in the audience.
I will say, this show, while kind of dumb, had an awesome, like, there were moments that were pretty awesomely demented for a kid's show, specifically when they're in the taxi cab and Floyd's like, and, the thing is, and then his head just turns around. He's like, I'm kind of dead. Like,
yeah, I actually have that note too.
Yeah.
That was a good part.
They're like,
I
there's
dig
like
it a
their
lot.
own version of Large Marge or something.
It was.
I have that note too. Man, you guys are reading my mind this episode.
But yeah, like, I just really enjoyed this episode more than I anticipated I would, which was a pleasant surprise, because I remember this time last year feeling really disappointed that we went with the Haunted Mask.
Yeah. Well, so we're glossing over really the only reason to get in the Phantom Cab is to narrowly escape death and then get picked up by the park ranger, and then you get a ride home in the back of his Jeep with the top down, which would be fucking sweet.
That would be pretty baller.
Yeah, make sure that the girl that you have a crush on sees you come back into town with on the back of a park ranger's Jeep, and just be like, "Sup?" And you have your hat like 3/4 of the way backwards because it's 1993.
And then you stand up in the back of the Jeep, you bang on the hood, and you go, "Woo!" And he peels the fuck out away from the girl.
Yeah, you yell "Spring Break" and floor it.
I yell "Spring Break, show my top," or pull my top up, and then
you pull a Spring Break and you go, Spring Break forever.
Take me to the prom.
I want to share a story, because this is all Canadian, a very Canadian show, Canadian actors. Did I ever tell you about the time that I think I was like 6 or 7? I auditioned for.
Please tell me that you auditioned
not
for the
this show, but for an Oscar Mayer Wiener commercial.
Please tell us the story. This might be the best thing since fucking the Power Rangers story that I told a couple weeks ago.
Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile rolls through town. Okay, on the radio they put out the word that they're looking to audition kids from like 5 to 8 for their commercial. You have to come down and you have to sing the Oscar Mayer Wiener song on camera. So little fucking 6-7-year-old Adam with his blonde bowl cut, because I used to be blonde when I was little, and like dickhead shape, like it was full bowl cut. I mean, this is the 90s, late 90s, mind you, but still the 90s. So I rolled down there. I got to sing the Oscar Mayer Wiener song. He goes, I wish I was an Oscar Mayer Wiener. That is what I truly like to be. Because if I was an Oscar Mayer Wiener, everyone would be in love with me. Nailed the audition, slept with the producer, thought I was in for sure. Some ugly little fucking ginger kid got it. I was so pissed off about that. But I got to be inside the Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile for a bit. So, that was when the producer took me back there and whatever. But
Yeah, casting couch.
Yeah, so that's you're talking to an almost future star right now, so you guys maybe be a little bit more careful who you're talking to.
Maybe you could produce the Oscar Mayer Wiener children.
That little red-headed, fat, ugly kid grew up to be Ryan Gosling.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Albert Einstein.
I don't know. Is Ryan Gosling a Canadian actor? I just remember he was in a bunch of these. Okay, cool. I was like, I'm taking a risk here because I think he was on one of these shows.
That white, red-headed little kid grew up to be Drake. So, you know.
All right, so I mean, this is a short episode. It's a little bonus episode for you guys. Happy Halloween and all that good jazz. Do you guys have anything you want to sign off on? I mean, I think we've done all the different shit already in the Little Monsters episode a couple days ago, but just in case, anything?
Well, I hope that everybody enjoyed October with us because it's definitely the pinnacle of the year for us. So it all just goes downhill until next October.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
it's slog
I
through the next
hope you're ready for the slump, guys.
The 11-month slump.
No, I don't. I had one more note for this show. Maybe we'll go out on that. Imagine at the end of the episode where they all vote, and they're like, "Can we let him in the Midnight Society?" And then they're all like, "Yeah, vote yeah for him." Where he takes the blindfold off and looks around at the members of the Midnight Society. He's just like, "Oh, never mind."
Well, it's because he was like, "Oh man, we're like the UNICEF kids." Okay.
All right, that's good enough for me.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.